Hello everyone, I'm Jacoby, and for this week's interactive assessment, we've been assigned to do a couple of personality tests, the Firstborn Personality Scale and the Myers-Briggs / Jungian Personality Test. Now, as far as the Myers-Briggs, I have done a few of these, and every time that I seem to do them, I get back something different, and I feel like at times the questions are a bit difficult to answer because it's either one side or the other, It's either logic or it's morals, and there's no in between. And so, but when answering the questions, I tend to just go with my first instinct. I read the question, what does my mind go to first? And that's what I normally go to, but the results are different just about every time. I've had INTJ, I've had INFJ, and this time I've gotten ISFJ, with introvert being 82%, sensitive being 55%, feeling 55%, and judging 82%. Now, I do agree with the introverted and judgmental side. I feel like that applies to me pretty well, but it seems like the sensitive, intuitive, and the thinking and feeling tend to wager a little bit depending on what's going on in my life. And I think that as humans, we are, we can easily adapt, some people better than others, right? But as humans, we're able to adapt to our environments and our situations that are going on in our life. And as a follower of God, I want to be flexible in that area. I want God to be able to use me in whatever manner that He needs me in. And, I believe there are times where, even though I am more of an introverted person, I gain a lot of my energy being by myself. I believe that there are times where I can kind of step out of my comfort zone, be a little bit more extroverted if I need to, be a little bit more intuitive or thoughtful. There may arise some situations where I need to be more on the feeling side of how this person feels, or what is the most logical thing to do on the other side of the spectrum, right? And I believe that in my faith, it is important for me to be able to adapt in those type of situations. You never know when you're going to run into somebody, and you may need to pray for them right on the spot. You may need to have a debate with them or an argument with them. Of course, a good one, But looking at my personality type, I believe that there are a lot of good traits that line up with me: dependable, considerate, loyal to those closest to you, have a firm grasp of the factual realities, as well as an eye for detail. I believe that a lot of these things line up to my actual personality and the way that I feel like I behave. Now, as far as the Firstborn personality scale, I scored a 46 out of 100. And you'll have to forgive me on this one because I have a hard time understanding exactly what the Firstborn personality scale is about. I can see that my favoritism is toward the other children, or the later born children, in which I am the firstborn of my mother and the fourthborn of my father, but I've been raised by my grandparents for my whole life, so I feel like an only child a lot of times. And I figured that my scale would have been a little bit higher. But yeah, other than that, I think that my personality scales, for the most part, line up with who I am, especially the Myers-Briggs test. I hope that everyone is doing well this week and does well in their studies. Thank you very much for listening.